plan. Most of us spend our lives with our eyes turned outward, constantly scanning for approval, applause, plan, or acknowledgement from the people around us. It's almost instinctive. We are taught, often without words, plan, that success is about being seen, being recognized, and being validated by others. Plan. We live as if the measure of our worth is in how many people nod their heads at our achievements. Plan. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself a harder question? What do you think of you? When the noise of the world quiets down, plan. When the audience disappears, when there's no one left to impress, how do you feel about the person you are becoming? My plan. That's where real transformation begins. When you stop living to meet the expectations of others and start living to meet your own plan. The truth is, seeking validation is like chasing shadows. It keeps you running, but you never catch it. Plan. Because even if you get what you wanted, applause, likes, approval, what happens next? You want more. And then more. Plan. And soon you're exhausted, living for a world that doesn't even think about you as much as you think it does. But there's another way. The moment you turn inward, everything changes. Instead of asking, will they like this? You begin asking, am I proud of this? Instead of wondering, plan, what will they think of me? You start thinking, plan, what do I think of myself when I look in the mirror? That shift is powerful because it gives you back control. Plan. You no longer need permission to grow, to evolve, to succeed. You grant it to yourself. And here's the beautiful part, plan. When you focus entirely on becoming the best version of yourself, the outside world eventually catches up, plan. People will see the results of your work, your discipline, your commitment, and they will be shocked, plan. Not because you told them what you were doing, but because you were too busy doing it to explain. So ask yourself today, plan. Are you building a life that impresses others, or one that fulfills you? The world will always have opinions, plan. But at the end of the day, you live with yourself. Make that relationship the strongest one you have. When you do, plan, you'll find that external validation isn't necessary. It becomes a bonus, not a requirement. Focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but out of purpose. Because when you do, plan, you won't just shock everyone else, you'll surprise yourself. The world we live in loves noise, plan. It celebrates the big announcements, the grand gestures, the public declarations of intent, plan. Social media is filled with people telling you what they're going to do, how hard they're working, what's coming next, plan. But here's the truth, no one likes to admit the real work. The kind that actually changes your life is never loud. It's quiet, plan. It's built in the moments no one sees, in the hours when there's no audience, plan. In the decisions you make when there's no applause waiting at the end. Think about the people you admire most, plan. Those who seem to have transformed themselves, who have achieved something remarkable, plan. They didn't get there by broadcasting every small step. They got there by committing to the grind when nobody cared, plan. When it was easier to quit, when nothing seemed to be working. Success is not about the big reveal at the end, plan. It's about the 1,000 tiny, unseen choices that lead up to it. Waking up early when you'd rather stay in bed, plan. Saying no to distractions when everyone else is indulging. Sticking to your plan when the results aren't immediate, plan. These moments feel insignificant while you're living them, but over time they compound into something undeniable. The problem is, plan. Most people don't have the patience for silence. They want to be recognized before they've even earned it, plan. They crave the validation of progress instead of the discipline of persistence. But here's the thing, plan. When you rely on external recognition to keep going, plan. You're building on a foundation that will crumble the moment that recognition fades. When you learn to stay committed in silence, plan. You build a strength that cannot be shaken. There's a reason the most shocking transformations are the ones nobody saw coming, plan. It's because the person doing the work wasn't busy announcing it. They were too focused on becoming it, plan. And when they finally step into the light, the world is left stunned. That's the beauty of silent effort. It doesn't just create results. It creates impact. It makes people ask, how did you do it? And the answer is almost always the same. You worked when no one was watching, plan. So the next time you're tempted to prove to others that you're on the right path, resist. Save that energy for the work itself, plan. Trust the process enough to let your actions speak for you when the time comes, plan. Because success doesn't need to scream. It's always loud enough when it finally arrives. And when it does, plan. You won't need to tell anyone what you've been doing. They'll see it. They'll feel it. And they'll never forget it, plan. Comparison is one of the most subtle traps we fall into, and it's one of the most destructive, plan. It sneaks into your mind without you even realizing it. You open your phone in the morning, scroll through your feed, plan. And suddenly, you're measuring yourself against people you've never met. Their careers seem further along, plan. Their bodies seem more perfect, their lives seem more exciting. And without saying a word, comparison whispers, plan. If you're not enough, it's quiet, but it's relentless. And over time, plan. It can steal not only your joy, but also your potential. The irony is, you rarely compare yourself to someone else's struggle. You compare yourself to their highlight reel. You see their best moments, plan. Their polished results, their curated image. You don't see the long nights, the self-doubt, the sacrifices, the failures. And yet, plan. You take their peak and measure it against your progress. No wonder you feel behind, plan. No wonder you feel like you're not doing enough. But here's the truth, every journey is unique, plan. Your timeline is not supposed to look like anyone else's because your purpose isn't theirs, plan. What's meant for them may not be meant for you. And what's meant for you cannot be taken by anyone else, plan. When you shift your focus from comparison to growth, everything changes. Instead of asking, why am I not where they are? You start asking, am I further than I was yesterday? Instead of resenting someone else's success, plan. You can appreciate it without letting it diminish your own path. Progress stops being a race and becomes a personal commitment, plan. And that's when real momentum begins, because you're no longer distracted by someone else's lane, plan. You're fully committed to running your own. Think about how much energy is wasted comparing, competing, plan, and trying to keep up. What if you redirected all of that into becoming better at what matters to you? What if, plan, instead of scrolling through other people's lives, you invested in improving your own? That's when you start to see change, plan. That's when you stop feeling like you're always behind. Because you realize you were never supposed to be ahead of anyone, plan. You were only ever meant to be ahead of who you used to be, plan. The people who truly shock the world are never the ones who spent their lives comparing, plan. They're the ones who stayed so focused on their own journey that by the time the world looked up, they had transformed entirely, plan. And that can be you. If you stop giving your energy to everyone else's story and start writing your own, plan. Comparison steals your greatness only if you let it. But the moment you choose to focus on becoming the best version of yourself, plan, you take that power back. And in time, the results will speak for themselves, louder than any comparison ever could, plan. Words are easy. Promises are easy. Telling people what you're going to do takes almost no effort at all. Anyone can say they're going to change, that they're going to succeed, that they're going to be different this time. But results, real, undeniable results, are something entirely different. Plan. They don't just happen because you spoke them into existence. Plan. They happen because you worked for them when no one else could see what you were doing. And when those results finally show, plan, they speak louder than anything you could have ever said. There is a certain power in letting your actions do the talking. Plan. When you stop trying to convince people of your worth and start building undeniable proof of it, everything shifts. Plan. You no longer have to argue for your place at the table because your results earn it for you. You don't have to explain your value because the work you've done makes it obvious. People may doubt what you say, plan, but they cannot deny what they see. The challenge is that results take time, and we live in a world addicted to immediacy. Plan. We want progress now. We want recognition now. And when it doesn't come quickly, plan. We're tempted to announce our intentions louder, as if volume will make up for the lack of substance. But here's the reality, plan. The longer you stay committed to building something real, the less you'll need to defend it. Think about a tree, plan. In its earliest days, it's fragile, almost invisible, growing underground where no one can see, plan. But once its roots are deep and its trunk is strong, it stands unshaken by storms, plan. That's what results are. They're roots that can't be argued with, plan. When you start focusing entirely on producing results rather than seeking recognition, plan, you gain something far more valuable than approval. You gain credibility, plan. The kind that makes people pay attention without you asking them to. The kind that commands respect without you demanding it, plan. And the best part, the process of getting there changes you. It makes you disciplined. It makes you resilient, plan. It teaches you patience and perseverance. So stop announcing and start becoming, plan. Stop telling everyone what you will do and show them what you've done. Let your progress be so clear, so undeniable, plan, that it requires no explanation. That's when you shock people, not because you talked about change, but because you embodied it, plan. And when that moment comes, when your results speak for you, they will say everything that words never could. They will tell the story of your effort, your sacrifice, plan, your persistence, and they will speak louder than any voice you could ever raise, plan. The most powerful transformation you can make is the one that leaves people speechless. Not because you told them you were changing, plan. Not because you kept reminding them to watch what you were about to do, but because one day, without warning, plan, you showed up as someone they didn't expect, plan. That's the ultimate shock, not the noise of intention, but the quiet unveiling of results so undeniable that people have no choice but to notice, plan. When you focus on yourself long enough, something happens that others can't quite define. At first, they may dismiss you. They may doubt you. They may even mock you for trying. But while they're busy talking, you're busy working, plan. You're making the hard choices, building the habits, and refusing to quit when things get uncomfortable. And then one day, plan, they see you again. And you're not who you used to be. It's not just the external changes they notice, plan. Though those might be there. It's the way you carry yourself. The quiet confidence. The unshakable presence, plan. The undeniable growth that cannot be faked. This kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight, plan. It's the result of countless days of doing what others won't, of staying disciplined when it would have been easier to give in, plan. Of refusing to let circumstances dictate who you become. It's about playing the long game when everyone else is chasing shortcuts, plan. And the beauty of it is that you don't have to seek validation anymore. The results bring it to you. They create a ripple effect, plan. People start asking how you did it, And that's when you realize the real magic by focusing on yourself. Plan. You've not only changed your life, you've inspired others to do the same. Plan. The shock factor isn't about revenge or proving people wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Plan. It's about showing up for the vision you had when no one else could see it. Because in the end, plan. What could be more powerful than becoming unrecognizable to the version of you that once doubted, feared, or settled? Plan. What could be more fulfilling than knowing you turned potential into reality? So keep going, even when no one notices. Plan. Keep building when no one is clapping. Stay committed when the results feel far away. Plan. Because the day will come when all of that unseen effort reveals itself, and when it does, plan. It won't just shock everyone, it will redefine you. And that moment, plan. When you look around and realize you became everything you once hoped to be, plan. Is worth far more than the fleeting approval you might have chased along the way.